In the bustling city of Lagos, where the skyline meets the shimmering waters of the Atlantic Ocean, lived a young woman named Amina. She was known for her beauty and grace, her laughter a melody that echoed through the narrow streets of her neighborhood. However, beneath her radiant exterior, Amina carried the weight of her family's struggles. Her father was ill, her siblings hungry, and the rent overdue. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Amina made her way to the local market. She needed to buy medicine for her father, but her pockets were nearly empty. As she wandered through the market, her eyes fell upon a man who stood out among the crowd. He was tall, with a commanding presence and a smile that could light up the darkest night. His name was Kofi, a wealthy businessman visiting Lagos for a week. He was immediately captivated by Amina's beauty and approached her with a warm greeting. They talked for hours, walking through the market as if they had known each other for years. Kofi was kind, charming, and attentive, and Amina found herself drawn to him in a way she hadn't expected. As the evening grew darker, Kofi could see the worry etched in Amina's eyes. He gently inquired about her troubles, and she hesitated before sharing her family's plight. Moved by her story, Kofi made an offer. He would give her enough money to care for her father and her siblings, but in return, he wanted to spend the night with her. Amina was torn. The proposition was tempting, yet the idea of being with a stranger for money felt wrong. However, the thought of her father's pain and her siblings' hunger weighed heavily on her heart. After much contemplation, Amina agreed. They spent the night together, and Kofi was as tender and considerate as he had been throughout the evening. For Amina, it was a night filled with unexpected passion and connection, a momentary escape from her harsh reality. The following morning, Kofi left a bag of money on the table and kissed Amina softly on the forehead. "Take care of your family, Amina," he whispered before disappearing into the early morning mist. Amina watched him go, her heart conflicted. She had the money she desperately needed, but she also felt a strange emptiness where hope had flickered the night before. Days turned into weeks, and Amina used the money to pay for her father's treatment and buy food for her siblings. Yet, she couldn't shake off the memory of Kofi. His presence lingered in her mind, a ghost of a dream that seemed more real than anything she had ever known. One day, as she was walking through the market again, Amina overheard a conversation about a wealthy man who had been asking about her. Her heart skipped a beat. Could it be Kofi? She followed the whispers, her steps quickening with every turn. And there, standing under the same tree where they had first met, was Kofi. Their eyes met, and in that moment, the world around them faded away. Kofi walked towards Amina, his smile as warm as the Lagos sun. "I've been looking for you," he said softly. "There's something about that night that I can't forget." Amina's heart raced. She had many questions, but for now, all she wanted was to be with him, to understand the connection they had shared. As they walked together, side by side, a new story began to unfold, a tale of love, hope, and the promise of a future that neither of them had expected. Amina's heart was a drumbeat of anticipation as she and Kofi walked through the crowded streets of Lagos. They found a quiet cafe tucked away from the hustle and bustle, where they could talk without interruption. The atmosphere was intimate, with the warm glow of lanterns casting gentle shadows on their faces. Kofi reached out and took Amina's hand. "Amina, that night was special to me. It wasn't just about the arrangement, there was something real between us. I couldn't stop thinking about you, about us. I want to understand what this is and where it could go." Amina felt a rush of emotions. She had spent sleepless nights thinking about Kofi, wondering if their paths would cross again. Now, here he was, sharing the same feelings. "I felt it too, Kofi. But our lives are so different. You have your world, and I have mine. How can we bridge that gap?" Kofi squeezed her hand gently. "We can try. I have to return to Accra soon, but I want you to come with me. Spend some time there, see if you can find a place in my life, and I'll find a place in yours. We can make this work if we both want it. The idea of leaving her family worried Amina, but the promise of a future with Kofi was too compelling to ignore. After much contemplation and a heartfelt discussion with her family, who encouraged her to follow her heart, Amina decided to take the leap. She traveled to Accra with Kofi, her heart a mix of excitement and fear. Kofi's world was vastly different from her own. He lived in a luxurious home, surrounded by the comforts of wealth. But he made sure Amina felt at home, introducing her to his friends and showing her the beauty of the city. As days turned into weeks, their bond grew stronger. They explored Accra together, from the bustling markets to the serene beaches. Kofi introduced Amina to his business associates, and she began to understand the man behind the wealth. He was kind, hardworking, and deeply in love with her. Yet, not everyone welcomed Amina with open arms. Some of Kofi's acquaintances looked down on her humble origins, whispering behind her back. Amina felt the sting of their judgment, but Kofi stood by her, unwavering in his support. They don't know you like I do, Amina. You're stronger and more beautiful than any of them can see. Despite the challenges, Amina began to carve out a place for herself in Kofi's world. She found work with a local charity, using her experience to help others in need. Her compassion and dedication earned her respect, and slowly, the whispers began to fade. However, as their relationship deepened, so did the complexity of their lives. Kofi's business demands grew, often pulling him away for long hours. Amina missed the simplicity of her old life, the closeness of her family, and the straightforwardness of their love. She began to wonder if she could truly belong in this new world. One evening, as they sat on the terrace overlooking the city, Amina voiced her fears. Kofi, I love you, but I miss my family. I miss the simplicity of my life in Lagos. I don't know if I can fully adapt to this world. Kofi took her hands in his eyes filled with understanding. Amina, I never want you to lose yourself for me. If we need to find a middle ground, we will. We can travel back and forth, spend time in both places. I want you to be happy, wherever that is. Amina felt a wave of relief. I want to try, Kofi. I want to build a life with you, but I also want to stay connected to my roots, to the people I love. Kofi smiled. Then that's what we'll do. We'll create a life that embraces both our worlds, where we can be together and stay true to ourselves. As the stars twinkled above them, Amina and Kofi held each other close, ready to face whatever the future held, knowing their love was strong enough to overcome any obstacle. As time passed, Amina and Kofi settled into a rhythm that balanced their two worlds. They split their time between Lagos and Accra, building connections in both cities. In Lagos, Amina reconnected with her family and continued her work with local charities. In Accra, she and Kofi nurtured their love and faced the challenges of blending their lives. One weekend, while visiting Lagos, Amina and Kofi attended a vibrant festival. The air was filled with music, laughter, and the rich aromas of street food. As they danced under the stars, Kofi marveled at Amina's joy and how effortlessly she fit into the lively atmosphere. During the festival, Amina introduced Kofi to her childhood friend, Fatima, who had always been a source of strength and wisdom. Fatima welcomed Kofi warmly but didn't shy away from asking the tough questions. Kofi, I can see how much you care for Amina, but are you ready for the sacrifices and commitments this relationship demands? Kofi nodded earnestly. I am, Fatima. Amina is worth every challenge we face. I want to be with her, then I'll do whatever it takes to make it work. Fatima smiled, satisfied with his response. Good. Amina deserves happiness and stability. Just remember, love is not just about the good times but also about standing by each other during the storms. Back in Accra, Kofi's business continued to thrive, but it also brought new pressures. He was often required to travel, and the long hours started to take a toll on their relationship. Amina found herself feeling lonely, despite being surrounded by luxury and comfort. One evening, after a particularly grueling day, Kofi returned home to find Amina waiting for him. Her eyes were filled with a mixture of love and concern. "Kofi, we need to talk. I understand your work is important, but we can't let it come between us. I miss you, and I need you to be present, not just physically, but emotionally." Kofi sighed, running his hands through his hair. "I know, Amina. I'm sorry. I've been so focused on providing for our future that I've neglected the present. I'll make more time for us, I promise." They decided to make weekends sacred, dedicating that time solely to each other. They explored the hidden gems of Accra, from quiet beaches to secluded gardens. They laughed, shared stories, and deepened their bond, finding solace in each other's presence. Yet, as their love grew stronger, another challenge loomed on the horizon. One of Kofi's business rivals, the cunning and ambitious man named Tand, saw Amina as a weakness he could exploit. Tand began spreading rumors, questioning Amina's motives and loyalty. The gossip reached Kofi's business partners, causing tension and distrust. Kofi, aware of the growing whispers, confronted Tand. "Why are you doing this? Amina is my heart, and I won't let you use her to undermine me." Tand smirked. "Love makes men weak, Kofi. You're blinded by your feelings, and it's affecting your judgment. Maybe you should reconsider who you trust." Kofi's anger simmered, but he remained composed. "My love for Amina is my strength, not my weakness. You won't break us apart." Determined to protect their relationship, Kofi confided in Amina about Tan's schemes. Together, they devised a plan to counter the rumors. They hosted a grand event, inviting Kofi's business partners and friends to witness their love and commitment firsthand. The event was a success. Amina charmed everyone with her grace and sincerity, and Kofi's partners saw the genuine bond between them. The rumors began to fade, replaced by admiration and respect for their unwavering love. Despite the victory, Amina and Kofi knew their journey was far from over. They had weathered storms and faced adversaries, but their future was still uncertain. They stood on the terrace, holding each other close, gazing at the city lights below. "Kofi," Amina whispered, "we've come so far, but there's still so much ahead. Are you ready for what's next?" Kofi kissed her forehead, his heart full of love and determination. "With you by my side, Amina, I'm ready for anything." As they embraced, the night enveloped them in its quiet promise, hinting at the many chapters yet to be written in their story. Amina and Kofi's life settled into a delicate balance, each supporting the other through their respective struggles. However, the tranquility was often interrupted by the demands of Kofi's expanding business and Amina's growing responsibilities with the charity she had started in Accra. Their commitment to making time for each other was continually tested. One morning, Amina received a letter from her younger brother, Jibril. Their father's health had worsened, and the family needed her back in Lagos. Kofi noticed the worry etched on her face and held her close. "You need to be with your family, Amina. We'll make this work, no matter the distance." Amina nodded, grateful for his understanding. She promised to return soon and kissed him goodbye, her heart heavy with the separation but determined to support her family. Back in Lagos, Amina found herself immersed in the familiar chaos of her home. She spent her days caring for her father and helping her mother, but her thoughts often drifted to Kofi. They talked on the phone every night, their conversations filled with love and longing, but the physical distance took its toll. One evening, as Amina was preparing dinner, there was a knock on the door. She opened it to find Fatima standing there, a concerned look on her face. "Amina, I had some troubling news." There's a woman in Accra claiming she's close to Kofi, spreading rumors that he's moved on. Amina felt a pang of anxiety but refused to jump to conclusions. Thank you for telling me, Fatima. I'll talk to Kofi about it. That night, Amina called Kofi, her voice trembling. Kofi, there's something I need to ask you. There's a woman in Accra spreading rumors about you. I trust you, but I need to know what's going on. Kofi's voice was calm but firm. Amina, I promise you, there's no one else. The woman you're hearing about is an ex-business associate trying to cause trouble because I refused her advances. I've only ever loved you. Amina believed him, but the conversation left her feeling uneasy. She couldn't shake off the fear of losing Kofi to the complexities of his world. She decided it was time to return to Accra and face the situation head-on. Upon her return, Amina found Kofi waiting for her at the airport, his eyes lighting up with relief and love. They embraced tightly, neither wanting to let go. We need to stand together, Kofi, Amina whispered. No more secrets, no more doubts. Kofi nodded, his resolve strengthening. We'll face everything together, Amina. I won't let anyone come between us. Their reunion was sweet, but it was clear that they needed to address the growing tension. Kofi arranged a meeting with the woman spreading rumors, determined to put an end to the lies. Amina insisted on accompanying him, wanting to show a united front. The woman, named Evelyn, arrived at the cafe where they had arranged to meet. Her eyes narrowed as she saw Amina beside Kofi. So, you brought her, Evelyn sneered. What's she doing here? Amina stepped forward, her voice steady. I'm here because I love Kofi, and I won't let anyone come between us. Whatever issues you have with him, you can address them directly, but don't spread lies about our relationship. Evelyn scoffed, but Kofi intervened. Evelyn, this ends now. You have no place in my life, and your attempts to create discord will not work. I'm with Amina, and nothing you do will change that. Seeing the determination in their eyes, Evelyn realized her efforts were futile. She left, muttering under her breath, but the damage had been done. The rumors had already reached Kofi's business associates, casting shadows of doubt. Kofi and Amina knew they had to rebuild trust and solidify their partnership, not just in love but in every aspect of their lives. They started hosting regular gatherings at their home, inviting friends and business associates to see firsthand the strength of their bond. Slowly, the whispers faded, replaced by admiration for their resilience and unity. Despite the challenges, Amina and Kofi's love continued to grow. They made plans for the future, dreaming of a life where they could seamlessly blend their two worlds. But they also knew that love alone wouldn't sustain them. It required constant effort, trust, and a willingness to face whatever came their way together. One sunny afternoon, as they walked along the beach, Amina took Kofi's hand. We've been through so much, but I feel like this is just the beginning. There's still so much to discover about each other and our journey. Kofi smiled, pulling her close. As long as we're together, Amina, I'm ready for whatever comes next. Their story continued to unfold, each chapter bringing new challenges and deeper love, as they navigated the complex tapestry of their intertwined lives. As the months passed, Amina and Kofi's relationship grew even stronger. Their unwavering support for each other in the face of challenges became the bedrock of their love. Amina's charity work in Accra flourished, gaining recognition and support from influential figures, thanks in part to Kofi's network. Their efforts to bridge their worlds started to pay off, creating a seamless blend of their lives. One evening, Kofi surprised Amina with a romantic dinner at a rooftop restaurant overlooking the city. The view was breathtaking, the night air filled with the scent of jasmine. Kofi held Amina's hand across the table, his eyes shining with love. Amina, you've brought so much joy and strength into my life. I can't imagine my future without you. I know we've faced many obstacles, but I believe we are ready to take the next step. Amina's heart raced. Kofi, what are you saying? Kofi smiled, reaching into his pocket and pulling out a small velvet box. He opened it to reveal a stunning diamond ring. Amina, will you marry me? Tears welled up in Amina's eyes. She had dreamed of this moment but hadn't expected it to come so soon. Yes, Kofi. 1,000 times yes. Their engagement was celebrated with joy and excitement. Family and friends from both Lagos and Accra gathered to congratulate them, bridging the gap between their two worlds even further. The wedding plans began, filled with the vibrant traditions of both cultures, symbolizing their union and commitment. However, not everyone was pleased with their union. Kofi's old business rival was still lurking in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity to strike. Determined to undermine Kofi, Tan began plotting a new scheme targeting Amina's charity work in an attempt to tarnish her reputation and, by extension, Kofi's. Tan leaked false information to the press, accusing Amina's charity of financial mismanagement and embezzlement. The allegations spread quickly, causing a media frenzy. Amina was devastated, her hard work and integrity called into question. Kofi immediately stood by her side, hiring the best legal team to clear her name. Together, they held a press conference, presenting evidence that disproved the allegations and highlighting the positive impact of Amina's charity. Slowly, the truth emerged, and public opinion shifted back in their favor. Despite the vindication, the experience left Amina shaken. She confided in Kofi one night, "I never imagined someone could be so cruel. It makes me wonder if we'll ever have peace." Kofi held her close. "We will, Amina. We've faced so much already and come out stronger each time. As long as we're together, we can handle anything." As the wedding day approached, Amina and Kofi focused on the future, planning their life together. They decided to split their time between Lagos and Accra, ensuring they remained close to their roots and families. Kofi's business expanded to include philanthropic efforts, inspired by Amina's passion for helping others. On a beautiful afternoon under the canopy of an ancient baobab tree in a serene garden, Amina and Kofi exchanged vows. Surrounded by loved ones, their wedding was a celebration of love, resilience, and unity. The ceremony blended their cultures seamlessly, symbolizing the merging of their lives. As they danced under the stars, Amina felt a deep sense of peace and happiness. She looked into Kofi's eyes, filled with gratitude for their journey. "We've come so far, Kofi. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us." Kofi kissed her softly. "The future is ours to create, Amina. Together, we'll build a life full of love, adventure, and endless possibilities." Their story, rich with challenges and triumphs, continued to unfold, each chapter a testament to their enduring love and commitment. Amina and Kofi faced the world hand in hand, ready to write the next pages of their journey together. Amina and Kofi's wedding marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. They embarked on their honeymoon, exploring the scenic landscapes of Zanzibar, where the azure waters and pristine beaches offered a perfect escape. Their days were filled with laughter and love, and they found solace in the simplicity of each other's company. Upon returning to Accra, they faced the reality of their busy lives once more. However, their bond had been strengthened by the trials they had overcome. They settled into a harmonious routine, balancing their professional responsibilities and personal commitments. Amina's charity expanded, gaining international recognition for its impactful work, while Kofi's business continued to thrive, bolstered by his dedication and innovative vision. One evening, as they relaxed on their terrace, Kofi received a call from his lawyer. Tan had been arrested for fraud and corruption, his schemes finally catching up with him. The news brought a sense of relief and closure to Amina and Kofi. The dark cloud that had lingered over their happiness was finally dissipating. Life took on a new rhythm, one that was punctuated by joyous milestones and cherished moments. Amina and Kofi welcomed their first child, a beautiful baby girl named Zara. Her arrival brought an overwhelming sense of joy and purpose to their lives. They watched in awe as she grew, her laughter filling their home with light. As Zara's first birthday approached, Amina and Kofi decided to host a grand celebration, inviting friends and family from both Lagos and Accra. The gathering was a vibrant mix of cultures, a testament to the unity they had created. Under the shade of the same baobab tree where they had exchanged their vows, they celebrated the gift of life and love. During the celebration, Kofi stood up to make a toast. To my beautiful wife, Amina, and our precious daughter, Zara. Our journey has been filled with challenges, but it's also been rich with love and resilience. Here's to many more years of happiness, adventure, and togetherness. Amina's eyes glistened with tears of joy. She took Kofi's hand, her heart brimming with gratitude. We've built a beautiful life together, Kofi. I'm grateful for every moment, every lesson, and every bit of love we've shared. As the sun set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Amina and Kofi stood hand in hand, watching Zara play with her cousins. Their love had stood the test of time, emerging stronger with each challenge. They had created a life that blended their worlds, filled with love, hope, and endless possibilities. Amina looked at Kofi, her eyes reflecting the depth of her feelings. Our story is just beginning, Kofi. I can't wait to see where it takes us. Kofi smiled, his heart full. As long as we're together, Amina, the future is bright. Here's to our forever. And so, under the vast African sky, surrounded by family and friends, Amina and Kofi's journey continued. Their tale, rich with love and resilience, was a reminder that true love conquers all, creating a legacy that would inspire generations to come.